All right. First off, obviously, Wyatt, thanks for definitely having me on. What we want to cover today is just, I know, when you and I were just on this call, we were just talking about how you use virtual assistants and how we use virtual assistants. So I see Anthony jumped on. Anthony, how are you, dude? We see you.
Sorry, I'm muted there, but I'm good. Thanks.
Fantastic. All right. We got Jason as well. So we'll be saying hi to everybody as they pop on. But anyway, thanks a lot, obviously, for jumping on. Are you going to give me host? Do you want to give me a host or no? Preston, you're going to stay on, right?
Yeah, you're good. You should be good to go.
Cool. All right. Awesome. All right. Good stuff. Good stuff. So I'll just take a 2-second rundown and introducing myself. My name is Bob Lachance. I started investing in 2004. 2-second rundown. I don't like talking about myself, so let's just fast forward to how we could help everybody in their business. My virtual assistant company is out of the Philippines. I started my first one back in 2018, but I started investing in 2014. Helped start a couple of real estate education programs through the time, as you can tell. I got some gray hair. I'm balding a little bit. Gray spots on our chin. No idea why gray on guys comes out right here first. Doesn't make any sense to me, but that's when you know you start getting older. Did over probably now I'm probably at about 1,500 transactions that we've done. I got my real estate company right through the wall over there. I'll show you guys later if you guys want to take a look at that. My virtual assistant company is out of the Philippines. We're over 1,000 virtual assistant team members now. Like we were saying before we got on, why you use our VAs. We work together on that side of it. So I want to thank you for obviously having us on and allowing us to show everyone what we do in our office and what you do in your office. And we have a very, very similar setup. It's pretty interesting how that works. But let me just go to the second slide. Who we are, just a little bit about us. Our company's name is REVA Global. We do different stuff out of the Philippines. We do different projects. This is a charity that we run every year. We run different ones to help underprivileged students, to abandoned babies, to mothers that were abused. So we do a lot of different stuff and all this stuff takes place in the Philippines. I have not been there in 2 years because of obviously a little thing called COVID, but prior to that, I go typically about 3 to 4 times a year. So obviously now that the borders have opened up, we'll be starting to go back there again. I do a lot of team building, team bonding, etc. Why the Philippines? I get that a lot, because let's call it what it is. I mean, there's virtual assistant companies all over the world. I picked the Philippines because English is one of their primary languages. I know a lot of people don't know that, but it is one of the primary languages. They're huge on family, huge on culture. And one thing I love about working with Filipinos is your business is their business. So they look at every one of the tasks as really, really helping you out, and they're part of your team. I know they're not sitting in the office, but they are part of your team no matter what. And when each of you start working with virtual assistants, please include them. This is just a tip I want to give you from learning throughout the years. Please include them in your meetings, because just like if you and I are working together and we don't have this interaction, a lot of times it's human nature, right? You kind of start feeling like you're an outsider. So the best way to do it is include them in each of your team meetings. If you have a huddle in the morning time and you do a quick little 10-minute huddle, just call them in. It takes 2 seconds to zoom them in, but you will exponentially get more of a return on your investment, right? So, and I know that's it seems like a little thing, but it's the same thing if you have someone in the United States working for you, right? So let me see, is my screen on? Yep, it's on. Okay.
Yep. And we have a group text with all of our guys, and anytime they post their numbers or anything, all of our employees are just right behind it, cheering them on. Hey, great job, guys.
Awesome.
It's great.
That's a good point, because so I use Viber. I know some people use Ring Central, Viber, Slack. Create like a Viber. For me, I use Viber, so I'm literally going back and forth on a daily basis. I just got one from Jex, who's one of our text messengers. He goes, "Hey boss, we just got another one under contract." I'm like, "All right, great," because I don't even know when these things get under contract, because it goes. And I'll go over my system and process a little while ago. Why I'm sure you don't know some of the times that you get properties under contract until I'm told by the team members, which is actually really awesome.
Mm.
And where all of us want to be later on or right now in our real estate investing career. So just, and this won't be a long call. I know a lot of times no one wants to listen to a talking head at all, but I like, for me personally, I use my service as well. Not only I have a virtual assistant company, yes, but I was an investor first. So just so everybody kind of gets a little taste of a little bit about me. If you meet me in a mastermind, I will probably having a drink with it at the bar. That's just me, just so everyone's straight. I know not everyone drinks, but when we're all together, I do like having a good time. All right, what we'll cover today, all the things you need to know to automate 90% of your real estate business. I think why you have a makeup of individuals that are either newer or doing 5, 10, 15 deals a year. So this is for everybody. And I think this is important. It doesn't matter if, you're working part-time or you're working full-time and you're looking to get into real estate investing full-time. That's typically a lot of individuals that I come across, and I think you do as well, that, are interested in, obviously, that work with you today. So that's what I'll cover. I'll cover everyone from, anyone wanting to either get their time back, scale, or be more efficient. So that really encompasses everybody, even, you and I and Preston and Anthony, et cetera. So, all right, we're going to talk a little bit about how to use virtual assistants to save time and lock up deals. Again, I'm going to use real stuff that comes out of my office that I do on a daily basis. And Wyatt, if you want to interject as well, definitely please do. We may use the same exact tasks, with our VAs. I don't know, but if there's something I missed that you use, please just interject, just so everyone can see that kind of in a different light, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
All right, fantastic. Next bullet point, best ways to generate motivated seller leads with virtual assistants. We use 3 different types of ways to generate leads, which I'll cover. And best tasks to outsource to a VA when getting started. I'm not going to cover how to hire VAs and ensure successful working relationships, or if I do, I'll just breeze over that if that's okay, because that's kind of a whole nother process, because our company does handle that. As you know, we hire them, we run into that. And if you guys want to do an extra little training on, I'll definitely do that for your team there, Wyatt, on how to, because some people want to bring on their own VAs, which I have no problem with. So I'll teach, individuals on how to do that as well. So let's get rocking and rolling. So get this question a lot. So who do we serve? We serve every type of real estate professional. You got investors, wholesalers, we have builders, agents, brokers as well, renovation and rehab investors, landlords. I didn't put it on there, but we have self-storage investors as well. Why? Because I know you're getting into that. You got 2 under contract, which congratulations, that's phenomenal. We have landlords, property managers. For those of you who are looking to buy and hold, virtual assistants are incredible for, taking care of all the crappy calls you never want to handle, right? You have a tenant that's all mad because, the individual doing the lawn didn't show up, right? You don't want to have to take those calls. You have them take those as an example. Short-term rentals, you have creative financing, which again, I know why you do that as well. We have lenders, brokers, influencers, content creators, blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. So anything under real estate professionals, we actually cover. So, and you can think very, very creatively. If you guys have any questions, we'll open it up, I think, Wyatt, after this. We'll open up the questions if you guys have any. But just a little bit of background on that. I think, in my opinion, this is back when I first started my first company, 2014. The reason why I started, why we didn't cover this, actually, 2-second story, but I was running a coaching program started in 2007. And I was always looking for what kind of service or product could my students actually use. And it was the same thing. Like, dude, I just don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I'm just by myself. Because when I started, I door knocked. So I door knocked for a year straight, knocking on doors on pre-foreclosure properties. And I knew nothing about real estate. I'm not saying anybody should door knock, because door knocking absolutely sucks, but it is a phenomenal way to understand, how to get a door shut in your face and all that kind of good stuff, right? We don't have to do that, because today is different than 2004. We got VAs that could do all this crap for you. So I don't recommend anybody does that, to be honest with you. So the reason why I started this company was because all the students were either working part-time, full-time, or they were in real estate full-time and they needed extra help and affordable help, not just extra help. It needs to be affordable. I know all of us are all over the country. You look at some of these states, you got California, Connecticut, minimum wage is going through the roof. And I don't see it. It's never going down. Let's call it what it is. It is only going up. So, when you look at that, we have to, as small business owners, we always have to look at our bottom line, right? And it's really, really important. I'm huge at that. I always look at that kind of stuff in my own business because, expenses could get out of control in 2 seconds if we don't manage that, right? And we know that we're spending money on marketing. We're doing this, we're doing that. So it's just something just to be aware of. And a virtual assistant is a very good place to start on keeping your costs down. All right, why is this important? I touched upon this a little bit, but everyone falls into one of these 3 buckets. When I talk to individuals saying, hey, how do I know if I need a VA? They fall into one of these 3 buckets. Either they want to scale, which scaling, again, that's kind of a term that people use to, I don't even know, maybe to sell crap online. I don't know, but I usually never use that word scale because it's usually taken out of context. But scaling is really just doing more deals more efficiently while saving on expenses and adding more work, right? Or taking more work off your plate and giving it to somebody else. So scaling, again, could be a lot different from my definition to your definition, but it's basically doing more deals, right? It doesn't matter if you want to up it from 2 to 4. Guess what? That's a pretty good scale. If it's 5 to 10, again, that's doubling our businesses. So, I don't look at it and say, hey, we all need to be doing 100 deals. Like it's, everyone's different. So that's the way I just want to make sure that you look at it as well. Took me a while because I see all this crap posted online and everyone's like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me. I don't believe half the stuff anymore online. I don't know if you guys do or don't, but all that crap's posted. The only reason I said that because I know a buddy. If I go off on a tangent, why you can rein me back in. But I had a buddy that was part of the last, like I was talking about, coaching program, and he was asking one of my other friends if he could take a picture in front of his car so he could post it online. That's when I'm like, all right. That's where I throw out the white flag. I'm like, all right, dude, come on. All right, so let's keep going with this. Scale. Next one is efficiency. Efficiency is improve the efficiency of daily business processes with skilled, dedicated, trained team members. It's becoming more efficient. I don't know about you, but every time, when I first started, I would look at my calendar, I'd be overwhelmed. I would look at it, started looking at the tasks that need to be done. I'm like, oh, this sucks. I don't want to do this one. I don't want to do this one. I don't want to do this one. Those are the tasks that really sap your energy. When I first started, I'll take a step back too. I'll tell you a little bit about how I first started. Played professional hockey for 8 years, and I went to Boston University, but I left school 2 classes short of getting my degree. I signed a professional contract for a bit. And then when I was about to retire, I had to make a decision to go back and get my license or to get my degree or to jump into a profession that did not have any barrier of entry. So I decided not to go back to school. The reason why I didn't is because I did not want a fallback position. I never wanted someone to tell me, hey, this is what you're going to do. You can, so for me personally, that keeps me motivated if I don't have that type of fallback position. Well, nowadays, fallback position to me has changed. It means, having passive income. It means fallback position means just like you, Wyatt, you're investing in self-storage or investing in, passive income. That to me is a little bit different types of fallback position. But anyway, when I started, like I said, I door knocked from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. every single day. Then I would go home and I would skip trace those phone numbers that I actually had a list of pre-foreclosure properties. Then I would call till 7, 8 o'clock. Well, for those of you who are on the phone all day long, on the lead generation side, it saps your energy. That after a year, I was like, oh man, this sucks. And I was beat up. And those are the things that I wish back in the day. I don't know if there's virtual assistants for investors back in the day because I never heard of them. This is back in 2004, but those are the things you have to start looking at. Say, all right, how could I either scale if that's what you want? How do I become efficient? Or time freedom. And I always touch upon time freedom as, for me personally, I have 3 kids. I coach all of my kids in ice hockey. My oldest is a little older now. He's going to a prep school now. So he is, I'm not coaching him anymore, but sometimes in the spring I do. but anyway, I have 3 kids. So for me, time freedom is being able to coach my kids all the time and not missing any of their games, right? The only time I ever miss their games, it's not because I have a seller appointment. When I miss their games, it's because I'm out at an event, I'm at a mastermind or, doing something like this, but it won't be for anything else because I'm too busy at my work, if that makes any sense at all, because that's a big one. I know for many of us probably have kids, and, the older we get, the kind of, you start looking at stuff in a different lens. For me, 48 years old, and I'm like, you know what, shit, man, my front 9 is almost done. I'm on my back 9. Right. So you just start changing. It's kind of interesting how that is. And I think it's all for the positive. You got to look at things in the positive side. So anyway, to get through this, it's scale, efficiency, and time, because clock's ticking and we're rocking and rolling. So let me see if I can get to that next screen here. There you are. All right. So I get this question a lot. What sets us apart? I don't really like, like I said, I don't like, I'm not a big dude on like pumping your own tire at all, but our team does a very good job. So I'll put this on our team and how we actually set these things up. I think it's pretty cool. We have a 4-step recruiting and interview process. Our team members, what we do is we have it's called sourcing and recruiting. And you guys could do all this yourself if you want, right? There's some sites you guys could go on. You could do this all yourself. We have a sourcing and recruiting. So our sourcing team looks through all the different types of marketing channels we can do to drive in applications. And then our recruiting team now goes through each of the interview. They do VA systems check, because you have to make sure, even us here, right? You got to make sure that your systems are good, that you have backup internet, et cetera, on that side of it. So we do the same thing here. We do VA background checks. We have a 3-point competency and language proficiency check, because we get a lot of questions saying, hey, so what do Philippine VAs sound like, right? And if we'll go on interviews if you want. I'll go over the process after, but like I said, it is one of their primary languages there. That's why I picked the Philippines. Also, we do disc profiling and predictive indexing, which is really cool. We don't have to go over too much about that, but do some research on disc profiling, predictive indexing. I would also, I don't know if you do that with your in-house staff, but it's actually pretty good thing to do for anyone that you're going to hire. Do you guys do that, Wyatt?
Yeah, we do that for our employees and for our students.
Awesome. So, which is fantastic, because, once you learn all of this, you kind of look at it and you say, all right, wow, I never knew that's how I have to interact, or that's how I am on my natural state, or, when people are watching, it's pretty interesting. So anyway, do some research on that, guys. It's pretty cool. But we do that testing on our VAs, and we could give you all of this feedback and show you exactly what the results are. So I think that's another pretty cool thing that we do. They go through a 4-week real estate intensive training with our company. So we pay for all of that. That's our investment back into our people and our individuals and team members. We also have a VA benefit package. We pay for their health care. We give them paid time off days, and we also have paid training. So some of the stuff that we do behind the scenes that I think which is pretty cool. So anyone have any questions so far? I'm going to keep battling. Keep talking.
Keep on trucking.
All right. Very good. Very good. All right. Let's talk about lead generation and what I use. And Wyatt, I'd love for you to interact or interject on this too. But this is what I do in my office to a T. And these are the systems that we use that our virtual assistants actually follow. So cold calling. Cold calling is really important. And if you do this yourself without, if you're just picking up the phone calling cold leads, you will burn out. I promise, because I've done it, and it's very tiring. How many times could you be told no, right? No. Hey, shut up. Boom. Hang up the phone. Best thing to do to pass off to a virtual assistant, right? They could call 4 hours a day. They could call 8 hours a day. So we have part-time and full-time. I got to check our numbers now. I think we have about 5 to 8 cold callers that are calling all day long. We're in different markets, and I'll show you some of the closings that we just had. We had one of our biggest assignments. We had a $71,000 assignment that just closed in Alabama. I'm in Connecticut. So sorry, Wyatt, it was probably your lead in your backyard. But so we're doing this, and I don't see any of these properties. I haven't seen one property that we bought where I just got a message. I messaged Tracy, who's our transaction coordinator. We closed over 80 properties already this year. So we do wholesaling, wholetailing, some creative stuff, MLS wholesaling. A couple of those were buys, and we were going to hold them, but since the market was so good, we sold them, ended up making 30 to 50 grand rips on them all. So it's kind of like, I don't know, how long is it going to take you to make $30,000 on a buy and hold? You know, sometimes it's not the best way to think, but, you know, because it's kind of short-sightedness, but man, 30 grand feels good when you get it, right? So anyway, that's what we do out of our office. Cold calling. It's one of the most effective lead generation methods. And I'm going to show you exactly how you could set that system up in about 2 slides. And it's a method that is often most difficult to stay consistent with. I will tell you, for me personally, I went through a little case of burnout as well. What you'll find is you'll get all fired up. And I always say this on like social media posting, right? I'll go to an event, I'll see some phenomenal kind of strategy on social media posting, and I'll be fired up. So I'll start it on Monday, and then all of a sudden Tuesday I'll do it again. Wednesday I get a call from my buddy that wants to play golf, and I'm like, oh shit, let's go play golf, right? So then obviously what doesn't get done? That task. It's the same thing with cold calling, right? Cold calling, you consistently have to do it on a daily basis, because it could drive you. I don't know how many of your cold call leads or how many leads you're getting for cold calling, Wyatt, but I think we're getting 10, 15 a day or something along those lines. I don't know what your stats are, but
yeah, about the same. Our 3 guys, but that's what I tell everybody up front, you know, and that was an issue we were running into with new people coming on, was that burnout so quick, because they don't, you know, a lot of people don't have the same passion and motivation to take all those fuck yous, right? So as quickly as we can get them out of doing that themselves, the easier building the business is, right? Or even running the business is.
Yeah, we get caught up so much into you know, running our business and all the little BS that we have to deal with on a daily basis. So best thing we could do, yeah, think about this. Are we better off hammering the phones, calling a non-motivated seller list, or just calling the motivated sellers? Where are we making our money?
Exactly.
The second step. And again, the reason why I'm covering this is I went through every single one of these steps, and I've gone through all of this. So like I said, kind of like that back in the day, the size Sperling. I'm also a user of my product. I'm losing my hair, but I'm also a user. I think it's important for anybody. And why I think I told you this before, but for me personally, it's always been very, very important. Every time I started this company was to always run a real estate investment company as well, because there's too many people that are full of shit out there. They're saying, oh, I'm doing all these deals. I'm like, no, like I know for a fact you're not, because I know you personally, but they're, you know, and they have a service. So it's like, you know, it's just important for me to always do the business, because the only way you know it works is if you use it. That's the only way, right? So anyway, I may be a little different thinking on that side of it, but I think it's well, perfect example. I mean, look at your program, right? You also do the business.
Exactly.
Guess who I want to learn from? Someone who does the business. That's the point. So, all right, I'll give you some closings that we just had here. We had a $24,700 wholesale profit here in Meriden, Connecticut. We had a wholesale Toledo, and then Waterbury, 29,000 wholesale. I'll just give you a little background on the Toledo market. That's the highest we ever got. Toledo market, you could get properties under contract, very difficult to sell them, right? Toledo is again, if you're from Toledo, I'm telling you just through experience, I think at one time we had about 50 properties under contract. We may have closed 10 of them, maybe, just because we were getting them at 5, 6, 7. And I never knew the Toledo market like this, but there's some areas that are like really, really bad. So just this is when we were testing that market. We since pulled out, because it just, you know, the work that it takes for everything from start to finish doesn't make sense for our company in Toledo. But if you're killing it in Toledo, you live in Toledo, I guarantee you could probably make a crap ton of money in Toledo. Again, this is the virtual. We're doing this stuff virtually on this side of it. So that market's a little tougher for us because the price points just aren't high enough. Does that make sense, Wyatt?
Yep, absolutely.
All right, cool. All right, I'll give you.
Alabama deal.
What's that?
I want to see that Alabama deal.
Yeah, that's right. I will actually show you. I don't have it on this slides, but so just a little. So text messaging and cold calling, it's kind of the same system. So when you look at it, it goes the same thing. And this is the system that we do. We have our virtual assistants pull a list. What list provider do you use, Wyatt?
So we use PropStream.
Perfect. So do I. Okay. I also use RealFlow, but let's use PropStream as a perfect example. So I have my virtual assistant. We give them a list. And just to touch upon what we actually do, I don't care anymore about motivation because we have virtual assistants doing all this work for us. I used to pull pre-foreclosure lists. I used to tax delinquents. Now I don't give a shit at all because I take anything 2 years and over because I know everything has appreciated over 100 grand, right? So it doesn't really matter. I guarantee, give me another year and I'll probably go back to kind of tweaking my list a little more. But right now, and you can interject on what you use, but for me personally, I just typically say, all right, 2+ years of ownership, right? 3-bed, one plus bath, not listed in the MLS. That's it. Today, this is today. This could change tomorrow because interest rates are going up, right? That could change tomorrow. But today, I don't really spend too much time. And I'm pulling a lot of data because I'm giving it to our virtual assistants to actually take care of. So that's the reason why I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
You guys do the same?
We used to pull high equities and landlords, but now we went to an all-in conference and they were talking about pulling the entire state. We pull the entire county now. Cool. We just do counties at a time.
Yep. So again, there's another similarity, you and I. So our VAs pull our list. I just let them know what I want. They go to PropStream, pull it. They also skip trace through PropStream. Do you use that service as well?
So we use REI Skip.
Okay, cool. All right, REI Skip. So you guys use REI Skip, or whatever best fits you guys. REI Skip is fantastic, and we import it into our system. So you could replace texting or the text blast service with a cold calling tool like Ready Mode, or what do you guys use for your outbound dialing?
For texting, we use REI Reply.
Okay, you can use REI Reply. How about for your outbound dialing for cold calling?
So we did REI Reply as well. Yeah.
Oh, cool. There you go. So perfect. Now you got the tools that are used. I have one team that uses 5.9, another team that uses our called Ready Mode. They change names, so we use both of those. And then we have virtual assistants on I think I might have erased one of these slides or somewhere down here. But we have our virtual assistants that are trained on text messaging and cold calling. I have a script that I use that I would give all your VAs, or if you guys have a script that you guys use and your students want to use that, just let us know and our team will help train the VA on that script. So it's the same thing. So text blasting and cold calling are really, really similar on that side of it on the system. So it's pulling the list, skip tracing, uploading it into that platform. And then all of a sudden the VAs are either going to text message or cold call. The goal on this is for your VA to pre-screen to get a motivated seller. I want someone just to raise their hand that says, hey, listen, I want to talk to Rich, right? I want to talk to Bob. I want to talk to Wyatt. I want to talk to Preston, whoever it is, right? Anthony, Rizzo. That's all we want is we want them to push that lead over into either a CRM or send a direct email to us, because that's important. At night, we have, I have Jex just send us messages. Jex is one of our text messages. We have 3 text message VAs. He texts over those leads through Glip. That's what he does. He also puts them into our CRM, so it goes right to our acquisition team. So just this system alone, I highly recommend implementing this system. It's the same that Wyatt uses. So it's actually good that you and I are very transparent or very aligned on that as well.
Yeah, texting is awesome, man, because you can it's automated. If you don't text me back, you're gonna get text at least 15 times this month.
There you go. There you go. So this stuff works. It's just again, this is just some closings that we've had this month. Text messaging. Let me see here. This is a couple of deals, recent deals from text messaging. Milford, 38 grand. Springdale, Arkansas. I don't even know where any of these properties are, to be 100% honest with you guys. No idea. And if you're thinking about doing virtual virtual wholesaling or wholesaling, whatever you're going to do. It does work. I know a lot of us sometimes are skeptical, but it does work. And, we're doing it on a daily basis. So it's pretty cool. Any questions here? Or you want to keep going, Wyatt?
You're good. Anybody else?
All right, cool. And then this is another task that we use our VAs for, because this is really important. A lot of people don't understand this. In our companies, in our business, Adam's my real estate business partner, and he's like, we're always harping following up, because we have leads in our database that are, 6 months, a year and a half that we are closing. So I'm going to give you some cool statistics. 70% of all of our deals, I think it's way more than 70% now, are closed by following up. It takes an average of 5 to 8 touches. 5 to 8 touches. It's often the one thing not maintained in our business. Like this right here, just take a screenshot of this, guys, because this is really important. Take a picture of your phone. This is the stuff here that will make you hundreds of thousands of dollars. And that is no joke. This is where you freaking make your money. Like, no doubt about it. And the beauty of it is it's not done by any of us, right? This is done by our virtual assistants that we plug in, and they're the ones that are calling. And here's what happens. So the system behind here is, let's say, so why you just told me you're getting, let's say 15 leads a day. Think about this. You have your acquisition reps, they'll call them once. Then it'll go into follow-up. Then you get another 15. Then you get another 15. You get another 15. Even if it's 5, it's the same thing. What happens is you're going to be looking, you're going to be logging in each day. You're like, oh, I'm going to cherry pick that one. Oh, this dude never answered. Screw that. I'm just going to push it in the back. That's human nature. This is how this stuff works, right? But if we have somebody following through and working through this, because it doesn't matter. Every time our VAs pick up the phone, they're going to call, text, and leave a message, right? Guess who's not doing it? None of us on this call. Somebody else. And the goal, again, is to gauge any type of motivation. Anyone to raise their hand that says, hey, you know what? Yeah, shit, you know what? I'll entertain an offer. Because many of us could also refer these to agents, or if you're an agent on this call, you can get the listing. I mean, it's a no-brainer. If somebody wants to sell, doesn't matter, and you have a license, you have more opportunities to make money. I'm not saying be an agent. I'm not saying that. I have my license. I don't use it. I don't need it. Like it's in Massachusetts and I'm in Connecticut, so it doesn't make any sense. But through COVID, it was easier for me to get it through Mass. So anyway, but we in our office make a lot of money. My business partner is a licensed broker. So that is a little bit about follow-up. Let's see the next slide. Here's some statistics. Only 2% of sales close at the initial meeting. We call it one call close. It is very difficult, very, very difficult to do a one call close. I mean, we did one of them, which was that big banger I was just telling you about. And Adam, my business partner, was on the phone for like 12 minutes, 11 minutes. And that was not normal, but guess what closed them up? He transferred over to another rep in our office and they took it to close, right? He got the yes, but still wasn't sale yet. That was a text message lead that came in. Phenomenal, right? But anyway, only 2% of sales close at the initial meeting. The average sales follow-up drop-off rate breaks down like this. And this is a national thing. I don't know where I pulled this off from, but I pulled it from some national site. But 44% of sales reps stop following up after one no, right? And that's just human nature. So now we have we brought on a sales manager in our office who's there, and our sales team's over there. But now we start to look at all of the sales in there, looking at the notes, because it's really important. Guys, if you guys have team or yourself, please take very good notes, because the notes are actually what's gold later on, because you could always go back to them and be like, all right, so what happened on this process? Oh, there was, I talked to the wife and not the husband. Whatever the story is, there's always a story behind it. And always remember, nobody knows what's going to happen in the future. So what I mean by that, today, they may not be motivated. Who knows if they're having trouble with their spouses? Who knows if there's not been a tragedy? Who knows if, it turns into a probate situation, right? Nobody knows. So when you get a no here, it doesn't mean it's a no forever. That's why you put those on follow-up, because at one point they did raise their hand. Stuff changes. So anyway, 44% of sales reps stop after the 1-year rejection, 22% stop after 2, 14% stop after 3, 12% stop after 4. So that means 92% of people are done after the 4th no. So this is why, and you look at all of our deals, between 5 to 8 touches. That's where the gold is made. right? But I'll tell you what, if I'm the one that's doing the follow-up, I'm not going to do it. That's why we have a VA do it. I'll be cherry picking just like everybody else, right? So anyway, that's just a little bit of, what some follow-up statistics are. It's really, really important. All right, direct mail. Who do you guys recommend on this side of it? Just so I could kind of be aligned with that.
I work with Ryan Dixon at REI Print Mail. REI Print Mail. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, I work with Corey. So same thing.
Corey Meeker.
Yeah. So I work with the same guys.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah.
He is an awesome dude. So we do the same thing. So we provide a list to the VA. They pull the list. This is through PropStream. So we got to get our list. Same system. It's very easy. They format it to make sure it's sent the correct way to the direct mail company. They import it. What we do is we just have them send it right to Corey. We let Corey deal with it. They do a very good job at that. And then if there's any adjustments we need to make, and then they take the inbound call. So they'll take that first inbound call, pre-screen the lead. Hey, this is Bob, blah, blah, blah. And they pre-screen the lead. They send it over to our acquisition team. Again, each of you on this call may be your acquisition team, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you shouldn't be doing all of this other stuff here because you will get burnt out, right? That's just stuff to look at because it's important over time. These are the things that really beat us up as investors. Direct mail, recent deals in direct mail. Got a Bridgeport, Connecticut. We got an Alabama. I don't even know what Hyden, Alabama is. Is that near you?
I don't think so.
And then we got a rental here. So
I'll share this one. Last month, I think we started back sending postcards last month, and I think we paid $1,800 for 3,000 postcards. And we got a deal in Athens, Alabama, is $90,000. We got a tenant buyer ready to put $30,000 down and rent it for $1,500 a month. So I'll do that. I'll pay that every day.
That's awesome. That's phenomenal. Yeah, that is a phenomenal deal. Well done. Congrats on that, dude. That's awesome. All right, I think we're winding down here, but here's just some most common tasks for scaling. You got lead generation. We just covered all of that. Lead nurturers, follow-up specialists, email, phone, text, lead management. You got marketing tasks, social media, posting every day, because that's more on the branding side, right? It's important to always brand our companies. Podcasts. I recommend, if you guys can, reach out to individuals that do podcasts because it does promote you, right? And every one of us has something to give, right? You may feel like, oh, well, I didn't do enough to be on a podcast. I think you definitely 100% have done enough to be able to go on podcasts as well. Also, if you have a podcast management, another great way to bring in more viewers, more eyeballs, whether they're sellers or buyers, it doesn't matter. A great way to do that. Content, etc. And then some admin tasks, appointment setting, email, inbox management, bookkeeping. We have a lot of property managers that use VAs for bookkeeping, data entry, inbound phone, skip tracing, list pulling, etc., etc. So there's a laundry list of stuff. We have 100 task lists too. So if anyone's interested, Wyatt, we put it in the slides here. So if you guys want to just go to that, I think you might send out a link for that, I believe, on that side of it. So let me see what else we got here. Oh, just some cost savings. I think we have 3. I know it's coming. We wanted to keep this pretty tight. So here's just some cost savings of a VA. 20-hour dedicated work is $212 a week. 40 hours is only $424 a week, compared to, if you're looking for someone in the United States, average salary for college graduate, depending on where you are. I think I'm a little low in this number, but I'd rather put it a little lower than higher, because in my area, college graduates are looking for 60, 70 grand. I'm in Connecticut. So whatever area you're in, I probably should put a different range, but you guys get the point here. Benefits that we include with REVA, which is my company: paid time off, health insurance, company paid. Hiring someone in-house, obviously it's all paid by you. If you hire in-house with a salaried individual. Technology and equipment provided by VA, office space provided by VA, no state and federal taxes to pay. So obviously we know all of that is different when you hire in-house. So, and I know you guys know this. I just want to show you the slide on this one. All right. Let me see here. I think this is, do we do best? Outsource the rest. Best automation is a great virtual assistant. And then here's the link. So I know, I think I might went a little long, so I do apologize for you guys. I know typically 35 minutes is about the attention span for a majority of us, and I went 44, so I do apologize. But any questions, Wyatt? Anything you wanted to add? Anything else?
No, that's it, man. I'm glad we could get together for this.
Absolutely. So definitely let's keep in touch, and if you want to jump on a call, Wyatt, you and I will we'll do some more masterminding for sure.
That works for me, man. I appreciate it.